Okay, so the topic I wanted to take is what and how about meditation. So, this I wanted to do for all the people who are online and they would like to know what the meditation we are doing and what Buddha talking about, and also to look at when we say meditate, what exactly are we trying to do and why breath? Why not something else? So these are few questions I've been asked several number of times. So I thought it's good to know what we are doing and why we are doing. At least it gives us a proper information and a confidence that what we are doing is right or wrong. So let's come to the subject, meditate. So there are various English explanation on meditation, but the real word if you were to take is jhana, and the Sanskrit word is dhyana. Okay, so we'll take these two words and we'll understand what it is. It's from a basic root word called jha. Jha is to stick, to stay, to be watchful, whatever you can put that under. Jhana is a process of observation, making the mind understand what it should be doing. So when we say dhyana, even in all Indian languages, it is used as dhyana. What it means is that why don't you become aware? Aware of what? Becomes a question now. What should I be aware of? So generally, when we say mind, mind has five other, like we can say, lotus with five petals for an easy reference. A lotus with five petals, each petal representing one sense organ. Each one of them is connected to prana. This is again in Pali pana and in Sanskrit prana. Okay. Now in English it becomes very difficult to explain what is prana. So we'll keep prana as prana. Now this prana has another attribute. It's a breath of life. So breathing, when I say I'm breathing, I'm having one, the prana. Another one is the act of body movement with mind. That means the petals, five petals, interacting with that lotus. Okay. Now, when I say meditation, I'm meditating. I become a jhaik. Meaning, I would like to know what should be known. Now, what should be known? The breath should be known. Now the question comes, why should I know the breath? To know the other five petals. These petals, that means the prana goes into these petals. So the eye goes and picks up an object, the prana goes there. Along with that, the chitta follows through. Then if the sound comes, the ear follows through. That is, the prana follows through along with the chitta. So like that, we have all the five senses, the five sense, which is called as five sense doors. Something or the other will be coming and the prana will be going out. So the first step in when we say meditation is to control this prana going outside and make it inside. And prana is a vital force or a vital energy. There's no point in wasting energy unless it is really required. And most of the times we waste the energy rather than using it for what it is to use. So the objective of meditation is to harness energy. rather than losing energy. By seeing, I'm losing energy. By hearing, I'm losing energy. By tasting, I'm losing energy. By touching, I'm losing energy. By thinking, I'm losing energy. By smelling, I'm losing energy. Now I might say, how am I losing energy? Because in each one of these activities, something has to be performed. An act of seeing has to be performed. An act of hearing has to be performed. An act of touching has to be performed, like that. Now, based upon what I'm hearing, tasting, seeing, and all that, a particular chitta starts. Meaning, whatever I know, based upon that, the chitta takes its input, and then there is the flow of that, flow towards that object. So now, how do we tackle this? So the most easiest effective method is to observe the breath. Now, when I observe the breath, what happens? First thing, the body is still. When I start observing the breath, the body becomes still. There is no much activity. So when I sit, relax, and start watching the breath, even before closing my eyes, the body has to be stilled. When the body is still, the energy will slow down. That means the prana is not going out, because it has got nowhere to go. I'm sitting this. Now through eyes, I lose the energy because I get to see so many objects. Now I close my eyes. So the energy is now retained. It has no distraction. So I don't have to see anywhere. The body is still. By taking a particular posture, the energy is not going out, and the eye is closed. Then the third one is the tongue. There's nothing to suck or do anything, eat or whatever. So along with the eye, the tongue sense door is also shut. So now the body is still, eyes are closed, there is no activity for the tongue. When there is no activity for these three, that gives us only other two. Since I don't have any activity, the smell sense door also stops, because I am watching the breath. The smell also comes along with the breath, but I am looking at the touch of the breath. So the mind sense door is now involved with watching the breath. That means it cuts off itself from the other sense stimulus. It's only looking at the breath. When it deepens, the last one to go is the ear sense door. That also will stop. Now, the mind sense door, if by chance loses the breath, it will create its own images. So that is mano vinyana dhātu. Mano is the mind, vinyana is the consciousness, dhātu is a quality. What it means is that its quality is to create images. Dhamma. So it starts creating some or the other events that has happened. It becomes food. So if you want to close the mind sense door also, you have to employ the mind to watch the breath. Now the question comes, what should I watch in the breath? To begin with, I need the mind to be saying that you learn Samathā. Now the mind will ask, what is samatha? It's from two words, sama, atha. Sama is equal, atha is to stay. That is, bring in equanimity. So the definition given in the Anupassana Katha is that for avikep, or in Sanskrit vikshepa, and in English to distractedness, to stop distractedness or watching the breath. Now the first litmus test for me is the stillness of the body. If the body is going like this or going like this or drooling down, or I'm feeling sleepy, etc., etc., is because I am not able to watch the breath. Now, what should I do? So I kept 10 minutes. I'm becoming restless whether the 10 minutes happened or not, 10 minutes happened or not, 10 minutes happened or not. Then I need to stop. Open up the eyes, fix up the restlessness. How do I fix restlessness? First, I have to look at the doubt. If I see I have a doubt whether I can sit for 10 minutes or not, that's a doubt. It's called self-doubt, which I have created. And because that doubt is there, the restlessness is there. If I remove the doubt, the restlessness goes away. Now I need to do a sankalpa. Sankappa in Pali, sankalpa in Sanskrit, determination in English. So I need to make a firm determination that I believe in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and the Sila being intact. This hindrance should not be there. Why 10 minutes? I can sit for 10 hours also. But to make a determination like that. And now sit for 10 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. For few, I can do an internal chanting like this, so that the mind gets into this. I need not have to chant if it's already established. So, when I do it, breathe in, breathe out. I don't have to tell it by mouth. When I do like that, the 10 minutes would have got past. So it gives me tremendous confidence. Saddha. It converts itself into faith. So the faith faculty will open up. So now I have faith in myself that I can sit for 10 minutes. Now there is a motivation to do for 20 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out. Is not required now. Why? Because the motivation is already there. Now I am not able to do it. I'm feeling like walking. I'm feeling like eating. I'm feeling like opening the eyes. I'm feeling that somebody might give me a call. I'm feeling that I wanted to complete something. I partially completed it. These are the thoughts of vikshepa, distractedness. Now you have to watch it like a movie. So your objective is to keep the body still, unmoving. The mind will say, let's move, let's move, let's move. You're just watching it. After a while, you will be surprised that it's just a thought. You have nothing to do with it. It comes, Dayangama, goes Attangama. Udaya, Attangama. Udaya is sunrise, Attangama is sunset. So I can see arises, I don't have to do anything, it passes away. So now I can employ the mind to watch it coming, seems like staying and going away. Coming, seems like staying and going away. This is a good exercise, is what a mind feels now. So it lets go of feeling hunger. Yeah, it already had food, but it's getting bored because there's no activity. Now I have put it into activity. Hey, watch. This thought is coming. It's for you. What if I'm not able to sit again? Same process. Doubt has crept in. So the restlessness arises. When restlessness arises, you try and try, it is not working. So either you give it up or you feel very sleepy, and the body also starts to become like this. Because it is having inactivity. So when the body is inactive, it goes to sleep. The mind is inactive, it also goes to sleep. So I can find myself snoring. Why? Because the third hindrance has come. Thina midha. Now I get frustrated. So I tried and tried, it's not working, so I'm getting frustrated. The frustration is part of the fourth one, which is actually vyapada, stepping down. So now I feel terrible. I either feel angered with myself, or I feel agitated with myself, or I feel frustrated, or I feel worried, worked up, whatever we can say. Then the kukucha will come. Oh, I shouldn't have eaten the afternoon. Oh, I did a mistake. I shouldn't have had so much of lunch. I told my wife not to feed much. She doesn't understand. Or rather, I had gone to a hotel. I shouldn't have eaten all these rubbish things. I know it. I shouldn't be eating. But you know what? I have this craze for eating. And that's one thing. So there's remorse feeling. And when these are taken over, Kama Chanda comes. So suddenly I feel like I need to prepare for tea or coffee, or I want to talk to someone, or I want to go for a walk, or I want to do some shopping, or I want to do this, do that, all the starts. So this is Nivarna. Nivarna is, Varna is color. Nivarna is curtain with color. So basically it's colored, it's curtained. So on the consciousness, this is colored. So what should I do then? Meditate. First thing, still the body. Take a proper posture. Whatever posture. Except for sitting on the chair and meditating, you best is to sit on the floor with a floor mat or cushion or something. Make yourself very comfortable. Don't have to harden yourself to begin with. Soften it. Don't be harsh on you. Be soft on yourself. If you are not able to make it up, relax. What do you mean by relax? Stop whatever you're doing. You had feeling stretching it. Let's say I'm feeling very sleepy. Stretch. Deep breath. Relax. Stretch. Relax. If the sleepiness is too much, deep inhalation, exhalation by the mouth. If the sleepiness is not much, stretch the body, relax by the nose, or exhale by the nose. Slowly exhale it. Inhalation slow, exhalation slow. Now you relax, meaning just sit down. Now watch whatever you have done. You'll have a nice blood flow everywhere. Now you get energy, virya. Now you keep 10 minutes. Watch the breath. This process of setting the mind to observe the breath and calming the senses so that the sense is not grasped. So the breath is held in check by you is Samathā. Now when I have done this, I am now ready to embark the journey on Vipassana. It's by two words, Vi and Passana. Passana is to see. Seeing here is the Mimamsa, investigation. So out of the four Iddhipada, you have Chandidhipada, then you have Viriddhipada, Chitta, and the Mimamsa. The Mimamsa is the Vipassana. So Chandam Janeti, Vayamati, Viryam Arabhati. 1 second. Paggannati Padhati. So there is in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, and under the Anupassana, Buddha explains this. So Chandam Janeti, he arouses interest. Vayamati, he then puts in effort. Viryam Arabhati, he arouses the energy to do something. Chittam Paggannati, he holds the chitta. Padhati, he does an endeavor for everything. What do you mean everything? To remove akusala, developing kusala, which is part of the sammapadhana. So the Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana gives rise to the second attribute, which out of the 37 factors of awakening, so Sammapadhana is taken up. So by watching the breath like this, and when I get into the Samathā, my mind is now ready, eager to do the Vipassana. Vipassana is to extensively see, hey, what is there inside this breath. Let's investigate. So the first thing I'm going to take is Patavi. Aha! There is this long breath. Oh, I am breathing long. Long in the sense that you will feel it long because it is heavy also. The Patavi has 6 attributes. It's light and heavy, smooth and rough, hard and soft. And the breath can have all the 6 of them. It can be smooth, it can be soft, it can be hard, it can be heavy, it can be light, it can be rough. I just have to look at which which nostril it is coming. And the touch, wherever it is touching. From that touch point, it is long or short. Now the mind is interested into Vipassana. Now, instead of the breath as breath, I'm seeing it as the 5 dhātus, which is Mahabhuta. Like an example I could give you is, if you see a block of ice, you presume it is Patavi. But when you touch it, you also feel watery. And due to the heat, it turns into water. The heat also can be felt. And when the heat increases, it turns into water. But if it increases even more, it starts to boil. And when it starts to boil, it turns into gas. And when it turns into gas, it evaporates and it's gone. So Patavi changed to Apo. Apo Patavi changed to Tejo. Patavi Apo Tejo changed into Vayu. Patavi Apo Tejo Vayu turned into Akasa. Let me investigate my own body. This body, seemingly Patavi, inside that is water. If it gets heated up, water will get dried. How do I come to know? Constipation is nothing but dryness of or not having enough water. So, if there is constipation, means that the heat has dried out the entire water. So it has become like a thick or a hard thing, which is Patavi. Now, because of that, there is Vayu. Because of Vayu going around, there is space, then the Vayu keeps on rotating everywhere. So what I can see, all the 5 dhātus. So that is Mahabhuta, ice. With this is another Mahabhuta. If I do Ajjatta Bahidda, I find no distinction. So this investigation goes into Anupassana, which is analysis at the deepest level, which then gives me Abhinya, to see it in a different way. When I start seeing it in a different way, immediately what is going to happen is that what I was seeing it as vilas, I am seeing it as what? Pathavi? No. Apo? No. Vayo? No. Tejo? No. Akasha? No. Combination of all? No. Not a combination of all? No. That means you can't force fit anything now. Which makes to see this yatha bhuta jnana, meaning yatha bhuta, bhuta is becoming, how it has become. So these 5 elements have become like this, like the 5 elements which have become as an ice cube or an ice block. In the same way, this 5 element has become like this. So there is immediately nibbana happening in the mind. That is, that if you remember the 5 petals and this lotus, inside the lotus, there is an instant release that can be felt in the heart. So when I do Anupassana, I can see, wow, all that I was thinking as vilas is not at all there. Now I can decipher all the 5 individual dhatus till I break everything up. Then I can come to the ayatana, chakkayatana, sotayatana, ghanayatana, jivayatana, kayayatana, mana ayatana, then rupa ayatana, shaddha ayatana, gandha ayatana, rasa ayatana, uttabha ayatana, and dhamma ayatana. And vinyana, chakku vinyana, sota vinyana, ghana vinyana, jivha vinyana, kaya vinyana, mano vinyana. And then you can look at chakku samphassa, sota samphassa, ghana samphassa, jivha samphassa, kaya samphassa, mano samphassa. Then the vedana which comes up, chakku samphassa jata vedana, sota samphassa jata vedana, ghana samphassa vedana. The feeling which I am getting is also the same. Now I get this neutral feeling in the heart, very neutral. Why? Because I have deciphered these 5 dhatus, and hence I am able to decipher these 6 indriyas. And when I decipher the 6 indriyas, then the ayatana, then I am seeing the other ayatanas. It's so that the rupa, saddha, gandha, like that. So then the ajjata and bahidha are eliminated. And this elimination of ajjata and bahidha gives me viraga. Nibbida happened, viraga happened. Now that I have broken it up, nirodha happens in the heart. Nirodha brings in upasamaya, peace. Why? Because there's nothing in there. Abhinya I already started. So my abhinya increases. I am able to see it in a different way. Abhi anya equals abhinya. Abhi is higher. Anya, different way. Abhinya. Now I see the 4 noble truths. Holding as vilas is the starting of the dukkha. Dukkha satcha. Jati pi dukkha, jara pi dukkha, like that. Craving for vilas is dukkha, dukkha, dukkha samudaya, dukkha nirodha gamini. Now I had that nirodha there because nibbida is happened. So I have let it loose. So I attain nibbana at nirodha. And the Arya Attangika Magga I have followed to get into this, because Anupassana is Samadhitti. Because there is Samadhitti, Samma Sankappo automatically happens. Because there is Samma Sankappo, Samma Vacha happens. Samma Vacha gives rise to Samma Kammanto. Samma Kammanto gives rise to Samma Ajivo. Samma Ajivo gives rise to Samma Vayamo. Samma Vayamo gives rise to Samma Sati. Samma Sati gives rise to Samma Samadhi. Samma Samadhi will give rise to Samma Jnana. Samma Jnana will give rise to Samma. So, Arya Attangika Magga gives rise to 10 Arya Vimukti. So I can see it. Now the breath is completely understood. Now with understanding the breath, I can understand the Salaytana. I can understand this body Kaya. So now I know two Kayas. One is the Rupakaya and Namakaya. Namakaya is Vedana, Sanya, or rather Phassa, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Manasikara. This is what is Nama. That is form only in name, and no name, no form really exists. And the form is this gross thing of the 5 bhutas. So leaving out space, it is 4 bhutas. Chattaro Mahabhuta, Chatuncha Maha Upadaya Rupa. That is derived from these 4 primary or 4 basic or 4 Mahabhuta. Better to use Mahabhuta because Patvi gives rise to Apo, Apo gives rise to Tejo, Tejo gives rise to Vayu in a space. So now I have penetrated into the Dhamma. Now if I am practicing it correctly, Nibbida to Nibbana is continuous. There's very much a happiness, which is unconditioned, because this Mahabhuta is conditioned. Now I come out of that condition. So if I have to practice, the first 20 minutes I should give it for observing the breath, Samathā. Next 20 minutes I should give it for watching the heaviness, lightness, which is Patvi. Then the next 20 minutes I should look at the heat and cold. In breath, cold. Out breath, hot. In breath, heat. Out breath, hot. And mind will cooperate because it has something to do there. Then having done that, I should discern the water droplets inside the nose. When I have seen the water droplets, ready to go to the next one. 5. The air going everywhere, including the sound of the blood. As the blood is moving across, you will hear a sound. If you hear to your heartbeat, you will get a terror. That sound you can hear. And there's a movement. As soon as the blood comes, then again. So there's a movement, circulation. Then after that, you can look at the Akash. So when you come to Akash, face, mouth, increase the size of the mouth. As you see this mouth internally in your mind, increase it. This nose will go away. You'll see a big hole here. Then this whole thing, if you really see here, the hole. And this is a hole. And this is a complete whole. Esophagus downwards, whole, till the anus. It's one single hole. And then the ribs has holes. Each one of these joint has holes. Everywhere there is space. Literally see the skeleton. And when you see the skeleton, nibbana happens. And you are carrying only the skeleton. Viraga happens. Only skeleton, nirodha happens. Peace. Why? Because you are carrying some stupid thing with you. So you get a uppasamaya. And seeing this in this way gives rise to abhinya and parinya. Abhinya is to see in a different way, whereas parinya is understanding in a different way. Then when you have abhinya and parinya, again you come to the Four Noble Truths. And that gives rise to nibbana. Now you are in paramam sukham. Without entering into the jhana, of first jhana to the ninth jhana, you can do something like this and attain the same place, where there is no feeling and no perception. Any questions from anyone?
Are you done or you?
I'm done. I'm done. I just wanted to give you a complete walkthrough.
Yeah, so when I was practicing yesterday, that taking it toward 24 hours, like I was yesterday, I was out of the town, yesterday or day before yesterday. So I was continuously doing this practice, only Prithvi Dhātu. So when eyes are open, you are traveling in bus and etc. So it's all together I can do, right? Outside Prithvi, the body is Prithvi and the breath.
Yes, you can do.
Whichever I can see,
Yes, you can do.
all of them or one of them.
Yeah, you can see all of them. One of them, it depends on how comfortable are you. If you can do all of them, the best thing. If not, if the mind cannot stick on to that, the employment for the mind is breath.
So it was not continuous, but frequently I was coming back. Frequently means every 2-3 minutes I can come back to Prithvi.
Very good, very good. That will help. It will break.
Yeah, throughout the day.
Yeah, you can see the moment you see Patavi Dhatu, nibbana happens. The illusion is gone. To that extent, viraga happens. To that extent, nirodha happens. To that extent, uppasamaya happens. You can see peace coming to you. Then the other three things. Abhinyaya, sambodhaya, nibbana. To that extent, you experience nibbana. Yes, Dietmar.
Yeah, one question about Vayu. You described that if you are observing Vayu, you start to get aware about this kind of noises and insight, like when air is, circulating in your body. And so I think this is a very advanced state of experience also. So because if I do Vayu, then it's just that I can feel it in my lungs, for example. So if I breathe in, I feel that my lungs are getting fulfilled by air. And if I breathe out, I feel, okay, it's going out. And so for the beginning, this is okay, right?
Yes, yes. In fact, he gives you 6 ways of doing it. One is in breath, out breath. Another one he gives is this body, circulation, which you It's another way of doing it. You don't have to do that. Then there is only the stomach grinding sounds. You can just observe. You know that.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a vayu going around in the stomach. So, or if you're farting or whatever is coming out, you just observe. So then you know that's vayu. And
Okay, but just sorry.
yeah, sorry.
Continue.
The best one is again in breath, out breath.
Okay, this is just because how to realize vayu for me is if I breathe in and out, I feel that my lungs are getting filled. And
Yes.
when I'm breathing out, okay, my lungs
Perfect.
becoming empty.
Yes. Another thing you can do when it comes to vayu is that you can see the abdomen expanding and contracting, expanding, contracting. Any movement is vayu. So you can just observe the
Okay.
movements.
Okay, that means the lungs is one thing, but also I can observe how my body is moving when I breathe in and out.
Yes. And you will see the whole body is going up and coming down, going
Yes.
up and coming down.
Yes.
Not only that, throughout the day, you are moving, walking, and sitting, this and that. It's also because of why only.
Yes. All the different kinds of postures are vayu.
You need why to
Okay.
move.
If you're, when I say I have a catch in my back or got a catch in my leg or something, means the vayu has held it. It's not able to, it's not going away from there. So for every body movement you require vayu, including my hands, what I'm moving, or fingers I'm moving. It is because the vayu is there, I can move it. Otherwise, if it is stuck somewhere, I cannot bend it. Pains.
There's another part of a question about vayu. When I observed vayu, suddenly I felt also vayu on my skin around my nose. So I got the thought, okay, there is vayu inside of me, and there's also vayu outside of me.
That's
So
correct. That's correct.
actually, there is no I can't distinguish between them. It's the
That's
same.
good one. That is really good one. That will break the ajjatta bahidda if you really practice it well on vayu.
Okay. So this also leads me to the next question.
Mhm.
If you observe the dhatus, and suddenly your body starts to fade away. Yesterday we spoke about akasha. So if akasha arises, it might happen that the body starts to lose his frame, his shape, and you feel completely that you are the part of the space. Then between space outside and inside, there is nothing. So then only vijnana is left.
Correct.
So shall then directly, if I realize now my body is losing his shape, the feeling of body, and it goes automatically into akasha, shall I follow them or shall I keep doing, no, I have to do Vajjo, I have to observe Vajjo, because then I'm interrupting one process which happens automatically. You know what I mean?
I got it. I mean, you have to go, if you're getting akasha, then you go out, meaning you go along with that.
Okay.
That's the best,
Okay.
because then you get into akashanchayatana.
But if you are distracted, come down.
You will
Then
you will
you get
automatically come
opportunity.
down. You will automatically come down. The moment you are distracted, it comes back to earth or the patavi.
Yes. Yes. Okay, this is the next thing, what I wanted to ask. If we are observing our dhatus, and sometimes just in the beginning, sometimes there might be some mental distraction, like thoughts arising or just some words just coming up, and so then we we have to let them go. As long we feel relaxed, we can let them go, and we are putting our focus on the dhatu which we are observing in that moment, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I go from for example from Patavi to Tejo to Apo, and then in Apo it happens that thoughts are coming, I don't need to go back to Tejo. I can stay with Apo as long I'm able to set up virago, no, not virago, how
Nibbida.
to say, effort. As long I can afford
Virya. Okay,
easily.
effort. Yeah.
Virya, yes, Virya, sorry. I can stay with Apo as long I can handle the situation. I can deal with it. I can let it go, what happened, and I can continue with watching Apo.
Yes, but if it is overwhelming, you can come one level back, which is Tejo.
Okay. Okay, you have to see it by yourself.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm really distracted, so I go back one step.
Yes.
And if I feel, oh, I can handle this distraction, I can stay, and again, I focus on my, let's say, work. So, is it okay if in this moment when I realize there is some distraction and again I want to go back to my observation, I'm just thinking a little bit about this effort, about determination. Now I want to look that that I can follow again my object, and to motivate yourself a bit in this moment.
Yeah, if you put too much of effort, it leads to distraction. And when you get distracted, you lose it. So you have to play around. It's
Yeah.
like having an musical instrument, and either too tightening it is going to snap it. If you're loosening it too much, then it will not sound anything.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I
That means
think I can suggest two things based on which you can make optimum decision. One thing is the nature of distraction, the frequency of distraction, and the time it is taking. These three things you can make decision. Ideally, we just come back to same object. But if it is coming again and again, or if it's taking longer time to realize, then you go back, jump back to Prithvi directly. So
okay.
depending
So
on the nature of distraction, you try to
yeah.
make decision. How tough was the distraction? Then go back to Pathvi.
Okay. As I realized there's a distraction, and I realized, okay, no problem. I just let it go, and I keep on watching my object with this kind of virya. That means this effort and this. It was easy for me, and then also I could longer stay with the object. So I think right now
Yeah.
I deal in that way with it, and it works. So
Yes. Yeah.
um, okay, but thank you for this suggestion. So I have one last question.
Yes.
In the Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 140, they speak or it speaks also about the dhatus, and at the end of each dhatu of the explanation is written that we should, or in the sutta, this advice is given. This is not me. This doesn't belong to me, and this is not myself. Shall we think when we are doing this our dhatu meditation? Shall we also try to realize that when I was observing Vayu or Vajra, and it was internal, and then I felt it out. So in this moment, I knew, oh, this is what is inside of me, of mine, is also outside. So it's not me. This is not myself. And also, Vajra doesn't belong to me. It's not mine. So is it okay to while we are observing, we are thinking also, okay, if you start thinking while you're observing, you are not with the observation, but at the end of this 20 minutes, for example, after observing Vajra 20 minutes, and if you realize, oh, it's not me, so that we also say that in our mind or repeat that in our mind just for the understanding. If we realize or if we get this kind of how to say experience, so this is not mine. So shall we think in this moment about that just to make it clear for us? It's not mine.
Yes,
It's not myself.
yes, you can verbalize it, but that's an experience what you get. So now, when you truly see it, that it is just a vayu, that is air, and it is only tejo, which is heat or temperature. It is just patavi, it's only earth. Then, first thing you lose is or understand is anatta. It is nothing to do with you. It's just there. So, eso na me atta. This cannot be myself. If I say
Mhm.
this patavi is myself, now where will I search myself? It's not possible. So that's an experience, and you say, ah, what a relief. I don't have to verbally say eso na me atta. In the same way, this doesn't belong to me. Eso na aham asmi. Aham is ahankara or I-ness, ego-ness. Eso aham asmi is feeling possessed. So now what is there to possess in this filthy thing? There's nothing to feel of mine or others. So again you get a wow moment. Oh wow, great. So eso na aham asmi will remove the asmi mana, the vanity or the pride that I'm possessing this is gone. And because of that, eso na mama, you will experience it, which is ending of craving. So first the anatta, then losing the possession, then the craving is gone. And since there's no craving, there's nibbana.
Yes, it is not just to verbalize it after each observation of any
Correct.
dhatu. It's
Correct.
just because I realized, okay, there is vajra outside, there is vajra inside of mine. So to whom belongs this vajra? It doesn't belong to me. So
Correct.
this was this aha moment. So in this moment, I start thinking about that. But you are right. It's not like after each observation of any dhatu, you start thinking, "Oh, this is not mine. This is like a ritual. This is like a indoctrination of a way of thinking." This is what I try to
Right. You shouldn't
avoid.
be doing it. You shouldn't be doing which you are right. You shouldn't be doing it. Correct.
Okay, good. This were my all my questions for today.
Okay, great. Anyone, Sachin and Anusha and Vipshan, anything you have?
I had that the sutra question. That is what. But other than that, nothing. Thank you.
Okay. If you want me to cover that, I can cover it.
If others are okay.
Anusha has one question relating to a sutta. You all be interested? Okay, everyone has given their thumbs up. Okay, so this is sutta with Yamaka. Okay. Now I need to understand about this experience you will get mostly after you cross Sakadagami stage. That is, if I take SN 22.85 Yamakasutta, in this, the word where he says, as I understand the Buddha teaching, a bhikkhu who has ended the defilement is annihilated and destroyed when their body breaks up, doesn't exist after death. So, annihilation and existence are the two extremes. Sasattavada is one extreme, Uchchedavada is another extreme. Then the question comes, if I become an arhat, will my consciousness be annihilated or is it extinguished? There's a difference between annihilation and extinguishment. If I don't give fuel, if there is no fuel, that is Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana are the fuel. If there is no fuel, then the Vijnana gets extinguished then and there. It doesn't get annihilated. So to really experience this, it's beyond Sakadagami stage. Minimum. But right now we can do a intellectual way of seeing it. So here, when Venerable Sariputta asked Yamaka this question, is form anicca or nicca? For that we should have experienced Anattalakkana Sutta, SN 22.59 completely. Otherwise, because Yamaka has experienced it and he's answering no. Yes. How? You are given that one, what we are seeing. So somebody should have experienced in our group completely SN 22.85 Anattalakkana Sutta for the 5 aggregates. If yes, then anicca is experienced. So his question in that Anattalakkana Sutta is, can you dictate the form should be like this? Can you dictate the feeling should be like this? The perception should be like this. The preparation should be like this. The vijnana or the consciousness should be like this. That means, hey, consciousness, get me this kind of object as sight, as sound, as taste, as touch, as smell, as thoughts. No. That means it is anatta. And whatever is anatta is dukkha. And whatever is dukkha is anicca. Whatever remains there is anicca because it is always going away. And in English, there is no proper word to describe it. They put it as impermanent. So, Anattalakkana Sutta helps us to understand what the reality is. So first we should experience Anattalakkana. Assuming that I have experienced the Anattalakkana, I can ask this question. Is Tathagata, Tathagata means one who has crossed over, is a form? No. Is a feeling? No. Is a perception? Is Tathagata, is it a perception? No. Is it a preparation? No. Is it a conscious experience as Tathagata? No. Now, if that is not true, then do you think it is distinct from that? It is other than that? Anyatara? No. It's not this way, it's not that way also. Or do you think that Tathagata is possessed. Okay, that means that is someone you can you see it? So what it means here is that do you really regard that when it is Tathagata, he will be possessing something or not possessing anything at all? And both are wrong. So if that is true, then can you declare in any way? No, because it's extinguishing, not annihilation. For annihilation, something should be there to get annihilated. And since nothing is there to get annihilated, how can you then put it as annihilation? That is the gist of this sutta. Anusha, anything you want to say?
Thank you, Vilasji. That's what I wanted to know.
Okay. And he gives a very beautiful example. Consider these five aggregates to be a murderer. From the beginning, they have been a murderer. The form will murder you, feeling will murder you, and the perception will murder you, preparation will murder you. This vijnana, which is discriminating between this and that, this and that, this and that, will murder you. They have been murdered from the day one. Even before you took them into your refuge, they were murderers. Their job is to murder. So when you say annihilation, it means you are making yourself to be a murderer. But you are getting murdered. Hence, you can extinguish them completely. Hope I could explain properly, Anusha. Vipshan, do you have any question? Okay. If we don't have anything, then we can end for today. Shall we end? Okay. All right then. Good day and good night to you, Anusha, and the remaining people. Good evening. Bye.
Yeah, good evening to everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Everyone. Bye.